full true must get in ready you have it. So just lot free 10.3 agus 10.4 so hospital like kist over the heat. Okay. So just you my mark Derek up and chat now a tank contains 100 kilograms of water. If the area of the base of the tank is 0.5 meters squared, calculate the pressure of the water at the bottom of the tank. So Dara does it get a free kist you here can they run to it agus Jane formula this at
pressure is equal to PGH.
So the pressure cosma P I could P Sean Shaw I suppose by the Shaw and shouldn't roll spelt RHO Greek letters on P bug bunjaton but it actually roll horn to it. So just like Wallace if it's roll horn to it. So row MH Virginia PGH in Shan Foster. Okay. Now for your 10.3 kist over the heen Tesquin Foster goal pressure Codrum J force is gone. So a tank contains 100 kilograms of water. If the area of the base of the tank is 0.5 meters squared, so ahar doing, calculate the pressure of the water at the bottom of the tank. Okay, so reached can the upper pressure. So reached Connie County, Matikate kilogram the Eshke, so Connie County weight is equal to mass by gravity. Okay, so reached has been go mehan and in newtons. Cause my kilogram made for 9.8. Okay, so made I guess you do 980 newtons. Okay, so she know weight, which is the force. Okay, I guess raised to majadishin, actually, so the force is 980 newtons. Is can ahar that 0. If the area of the base of the tank is 0.5 meters squared. Now, you operate formula show data because Nyasa RGB doing tasking in mass I guess reached a row and shan. Do you get to? So 980 around 0.5 I guess you to 1960 Pascal. Okay. So okay again yeah. Just over a door. Next to me jadun GH going to skill hard division. Okay, so it reached PGH. So for your Darnikist to Majad formula so P cosma rho G agus H agus reached to Majad. So find the pressure due to water at the depth of 33 meters. The density of water is 100. So the plus cosma mile for gravity so 9.8 a devnya da 33 meters. Okay, Jim Fregre fight to finish in Orla.
3 do 3 ceathair neamhní Pascal.
0 Pascal. Perfect. Okay. And then you okay listen. Cast over 3 Dean. Do you move her 3? Let's 3. Find the pressure at the depth of 20 centimeters in a graduated cylinder full of 1 water against 2 mercury. Assume the pressure at the top of each liquid is 0. So how doing the density Luas von je iske, I guess it Luas von je mercury. So my hash majafla over here iske. So raised pressure equals to rho GH. So J lean to shaft von je shun. So my hash
J cube, yeah.
So 10 cubed, yeah. So shun mile. Okay. Medifa.
9.8.
3.8 medifa. Genergy.
Yeah. And 9.2.
9.2. Excellent. 9.2 meter, which is 20 centimeters. Are you going to figure it out?
Nijig Shaska.
Million Nijig Shaska Pascal. Now then, jammer to the unit. Okay. Part of the door. It is P pressure cosmona rho GH, which the cosmona now for your mercury, it's 13.6 by 10 to the power of 3, maybe for 9.8, and maybe for you punch it all. Jim Fregre Arne for the funny darn part.
Da she, quick she.
Quick she. Piece of she, meal she, hit quick she, Pascal. Erased, Nadjan jammer to the unit. Okay. Now, funny art level, cast over the keher. The Midgallus diagram is a reach intercostless sample we see the text. Now, a rectangular block has dimensions 10 centimeters by 20 centimeters by 30 centimeters. It is placed with its upper surface at the depth of 1 meter in water. Find the pressure at the upper surface of the block due to the water. So, Jack, part of the heen, that the leaf region do. So,
P equals rho GH. So
excellent,
P equals
yeah.
Mila, maybe from Leap on short, maybe for heen.
Maybe from the punch art, I guess it reaches 1 meter, I guess we reach figure did that.
9 Mila RTH Pascal.
9 Mila RTH Pascal. Excellent. There in the part, Jamesy. Pressure at the bottom. Lower surface due to the water. So reach formula Kierna. Rho GH.
Mila ní punchard
1.1. I guess it reach because the block J centimeter or 2. So reach some much less to 1.1 is reach figure doing that.
J Mila siart cé d'artó.
Chart 8 Arcmo Pascal. Excellent. Okay. Or left when you see who part, the force on the upper surface due to the water.
Force for pressure for area.
Bruce, yeah, because the brew cosma or the brew cosma forces can ahar, so the force the cosma brew midi for ahar. I guess the rest is in cosma, so it reached upper surface, so should the mila arcade midi fa.
You punch the doll.
So ahar a top, so you punch it doll midi fa, you punch it.
3.
Now you punch it 3. Yeah. Okay, I guess you to figure that.
Quick hit art Newton.
Quick hit art Newton. Into my. Okay, I guess that part journey.
Force equal to pressure for big seven.
Okay, I guess it reached J Mila chart 8. Arcmo, I guess it reached at the lower surface. So obviously there's a goal of 0.2 by 0.3. Same figure for the definition.
Shake his car shape, punch art Newton.
Punch art Newton. Okay, so the force Suez nis more than force she's. So reach test condition, general resultant force are balala hard to be. Make the shortness. Now, if the weight of the block is 70 newtons, right? So it is how much mehan the block of the mass. So we're just going to work since this touch book winja. Okay, we add the bunch in a so it is when you enforce in block, Jetition, sharp mo. So, Merkin to, I suppose, Jiglum, he dot 3 rubber marbles in again, yeah? So, Merkin to say Abergus in the block and Shinanash, Stisanashke. Okay, so then force the she's at the top is 588. Then force the Swiss, Mariala Bon, 646.8. Now, a race test going to call Mehan a block. Cosma sharp more Newton. Okay, the weight of the block. So that means in force she's faster. So therefore, some machine 70. I guess you to she head quicker art Newton. So to force the she's needs more than force the Swiss. So therefore, Tasha got 10 block got Nyasha got now. Okay, so it'll sink. And then you okay, listen. Yep. Okay. Again, 10. It's an exercise 10.3. So breath straightforward. Okay. Should you get on you? Yep.
Yeah.
Where's that session, Dean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good man. Okay. So round three, let's get you exercise 10.4. Okay. So reached Tashmid la Kestjavrihin 10.4. So a can't shot test going go all a fixed mass of oxygen has a volume of 3 meters cubed at a pressure of 1 by 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. What is the volume if the pressure is increased to 3 by 10 to the power of 5 Pascal? Okay, so here at the end to the pressure here, cosmos 1 by 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Okay, it's in P1. A volume V1 like 3 meters cubed. Okay, now that's going to go P2 cosmos 3 by 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. So to get the ata, agus rud to midge quartu to midge quartu V2. So to midge quartu V2. So test on your formula, go P1 V1, cosma P2 V2. Because the reverse identical matter midge pressure. So at constant temperature. So reached test on your sinus go P1, so 1 by 10 to the power of 5. Midifa V1, sin 3, cosma P2, 3 by 10 to the power of 5. Midifa V2. So to V dot cosmla 3 by 10 to the power of 5 around there 3 by 10 to the power of 5, which is equal to 1 meter cubed. Okay, and then you okay, listen. Okay, listen, yeah.
Yeah.
Chat and she's not going 5 minutes and she'll more make brush. Oh, Declan. Oh, well, you'll do how to be in Declan. Right, you'll make a big Declan. Now, just over the door, a certain mass of methane has a volume of 40 centimeters cubed. So, because 40 centimeters cubed is equal to, now, it reached Dean, 40 centimeters cubed at a meters cubed, could you animate? Can you go to my cash care not to large order?
Maybe for J.
Maybe for J, Guartiga J. Luigi, perfect. Meters cubed. Okay, so 40 centimeters cubed in cosmic cara made for J worth Luigi meters cubed. Okay, at a pressure of 1, so test going to go P1, so cosmic V1 or something. I guess P1 cosmic 1 by 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Okay, so what pressure would its volume be? 160 centimeters cubed. So reach what the V do cosmic K chaska centimeter cube here. Reached or that Higgins screw more 160 by 10 to the power of minus 6 meters cubed. Reached lean about the formula P1 V1 equals P2 V2. So reached the image equal to P2. So reached that's going to go P2 cosmla. So reached P1 midifa V1, so 1 by 10 to the power of 5. Midifa 40 by 10 to the power of minus 6. Around there 160 by 10 to the power of minus 6. Okay, I guess you to P2 cosmla J for the function data.
25,000 pascals.
25,000 pascals. Okay. 25,000 pascals. Was an okay again, then, yeah? Okay, so sin party heat, party do. Arn Augustine was in a gif. Or Kistaheen a gif, yeah. Okay. Okay, so for the darn part, to make a girk V2 egg to 80 centimeters. So with the V2 cosma 80 centimeters cubed, so sin cosma 80 by 10 to the power of minus 6. So it reached you to P2, but to make you where to, we should cosma 1 by 10 to the power of 5, maybe for 40 by 10 to the power of minus 6, which can 80 by 10 to the power of minus 6. Fregre function Jack.
Quiga millipascal?
Quiga millipascal. Perfect. Quiga millipascal. Okay. So it can journal part of the 3 to be equal to 1 centimeter cubed. So matavi do cosma 1 centimeter cubed. So this is cosma 1 by 10 to the power of minus 6. Erased leading on the formula P2 equals 1 by 10 to the power of 5, maybe for 40 by 10 to the power of minus 6. This can 1 by 10 to the power of minus 6. Orla fregretti function P2.
Careful J a Gerta Shea Pascal.
Perfect. Tad never seen a rest do nash gan by 10 to the power of 6. K a million. Yeah, you can do. She's make it as a 10 to the power of 6 and she 0. So there's K a million Pascal. Okay. Right. So sin kest over the do. Kest over the 3 figure 10.14. Okay, so Gauker figure 10.14 shows air trapped in a bicycle pump. No air escapes and the temperature remains constant when it is compressed. Now, describe what changes, if any, take place in the mass of air. So, Tashmid Latsid Daranshan, J healing to Atan, the mass and air.
Gabby.
Gabby, it remains the same. Yeah. So they just compress a lot, but it is. Make it as a sample on shot. My first mission is that to make a compressor in air, but the mass remains the same. Okay. Volume, Jack.
Increases? Or no, decreases.
Decreases, yes. So to lay do a chart into torch. Okay. Pressure, Orla.
Median and brew.
Yeah, median the brew. So now you're on the tart ni slew, you're on the brew ni small. Okay, agus the ken journey it bluas density of air iron.
Line it home.
What do you think? Sweet your bluas.
Line it home.
What bluas? What is density? That in definition that bluas then should do. That the formula and should do. Dean, would that the cudulus? Dean, that the cudulus. Or Declan, he got to type up. When they will make you go burgut.
Increases be.
How do you come by increases, or would it just lock a guess?
I guess.
Right. So just lay venu deep. Jiro bluas. So can you come near go bluas? Kajmla gaj. Right, they're Declan, it gets denser. But what's your explanation, Declan? I know if it locks that on the chin. So the less Kajmla mass is going torch. Okay. Now, switch is the formula that the less Kajmla mass can torch. American this is what one mass agata. Right? So nyele mass agata. The mass stays the same. Will the torch agata? Did that's a Jack? Will the torch agata?
That's a way to.
That's I get in his slew. So smooth yes, someone does a rancher ever in his slew, the shahan ever kerne, then to bless a lady knees small. Okay, so then Frederick Arctic Declan, but you'll make you be a gala me new kid kinder hannig adlassen. So because the torch get in his slew, that means then bless a lady knee small. So it gets more dense. We shouldn't take again on you. You shouldn't kill na Sharon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so these kinds of sweet you go back here the formulas that are already jantigan. Okay, so shin kiss over a tree, kiss over a keher. Now a volume of a certain mass of gas is 700 centimeters cubed. So these Kershaw V1 equals 700 centimeters cubed. Kiss over a keher. Okay. Gelatesco. Okay, at a pressure. There's the P here in Kodjamla 1 by 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. Okay. Now find its volume if the pressure changes to 2 by 10 to the power of 5 Pascal. So the pressure is going to double due to the harder than volume. So reached he got in the formula. So the P1 V1 Kodjamla P2 V2. So the reach going to go such a formula from pressure and pressure. So tasking pressure every heat. So ceacht by 10 to the power of minus 6 meters cubed, made for torch the 1 by 10 to the power of 5 is equal to pressure at Darnican, so it's 2 by 10 to the power of 5 by V2. Okay, so the V2 Kodjamla, so these made the shin for shin agus rantra shin. So you do ceacht made for J quartal she. 1 by 10 to the power of 5 around 2 by 10 to the power of 5. Agus you mit fregre da 3.5 by 10 to the power of minus 4 meters cubed. With the Kodjamla 350 centimeters cubed. So these make it as a because the pressure doubled, the volume halves. Now, just let you know, we need it. Connie Coveney o Boyle's law, the pressure is inversely proportional to the volume. So if we double the pressure, we half the volume. Okay, so Hucklet actually show you now just is meet your show. To meet you our definition that pressure against volume. So if the pressure increases to 7, typical harder than volume is going to be 1/7 of 700. So therefore, Jeta 1/7 that ceacht is equal to 100 centimeters cubed. So Shimbala Hucklet de Obruba just to meet you our proportionality. So you can see what the Maret Levinson. Does that make sense, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you can journal 5 times the Pascal. So with the 5p directly proportional to 1/5v. So that means the generally smichi skigashin is screamer 1/5 maybe for the volume. So it's 1/5 of the volume. So reached tasking quotient 1/5 the ceacht. I guess we should do in fregre da. Then you be. Which all janty then you be, no? One, 4, 0. So you to 100. Actually, you to 140. What's in cartago? Do you get the instant check the calculator? Be 140 centimeters cubed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's in 1/5. And then you okay, listen. A kiss journey, kiss over a quick. Can journey. Should I get on you? Now, the value of pressure by volume, PV, of a fixed mass of gas is 20 pascals per meter cubed. Okay, so to go brew midifa torch extension quadrumla fihe pascal some matter cubic. Okay, at a temperature of 20 degrees. So egg 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, now if the pressure is tripled and the temperature remains the same, okay, find the new value of PV for the mass of gas. Right, so then you be add the figure or definition. Jamesy, what do you think?
I'm not kidding.
Why? Katia?
Maar just say constant.
Did the constant.
Okay.
K, right. So your K is constant, right. But what does the K represent?
PV.
Boyle's law, be.
Yes, Boyle's law. I'm still kind for Boyle's law, but to figure cartiga, found 20 pascals per meter cubed. You must say if we increase the pressure by 3 times, but Katia, I guess there too, because that pressure is inversely proportional to the volume, so pressure equals to K by 1/V. Now the K represents constant temperature. Constant temperature. So reach with a constant temperature, go near that in temperature, so therefore the pressure will always remain the same. Like I shouldn't figure. Where y'all go lim chart if on it Merigarna. We shouldn't okay Ghana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So shouldn't figure my question in James because you almost got there, but it is a fixed temperature. So there's a chart tarisha to PV going got away tarisha. The pressure by volume will always be because We the pressure source in the pressure source running the volume sheets, we the volume source running pressure sheets, but within the Bartley you to go in rod kernel if the temperature remains the same. Okay, so sin kist ever quick. Right, so sin madre la exercise 10.5. Now, the hit section we should leak a graph agus an rojanta funny Boyle's law, we should leak janta.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're questioning then you beef to done experiment against the number runch of done experiment or Boyle's law. Any questions? No? Right. Okay. So here the estimate there not gravity. So I think like locking wrong my lahol freed gravity love. Well, I suppose how can you freed you hit GFH. Right. So in my share screen love against Tasha image or gravity in you. Okay. So we should go out in PowerPoint here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Right. So the race actually Uilíocht Domhantharraingthe Newton. So the universal law of gravitation. So race kite to show all one. Now actually Uilíocht Domhantharraingthe Newton. Okay. So to punk master be secrenie omon should the helle le force at a gorir gira le targan the masna agus a gorir in varte listen fad at the ru carne. Now a calculation just go check my back in mahashan. Just give me a machine div. Right, so the force it directly proportional to the product of the masses. So obviously, smuiching to the cost la there's the kind from universe agus rod. So abernas grow down again, agus grown galogun. So can E from your earth agus M from your moon. Okay, so the gravitational force at the reverse of the show. Okay, now the force between the two bodies, then force it a go rare gira to the product of the masses. So sin targun the masses and the mid to M for M do. So mass of the earth by the mass of the moon. First the test going to force a go rare inverta. So that means it's 1 over. A fad edru carne here. It's the distance between them squared. So we formula shall helle test going to force proportional to the product of the masses over d squared. Okay. Now, obviously, you might reach it on proportionality symbol. Now, the enemy kaimit constant horisha. So, karmisha equals, and in the case, usually karmisha k bug, but for a gravitational constant, it's a capital G. Okay, I guess in capital G to actually value I get is the in the lower table over d squared. So, in the formula not kaisholen, but reach more to catch define Newton's universal law of gravitation. So, just switch your formula. So then force it a go rare gira le targun the masne agus a go rare inverta le shan fad at ru carne here. So my screen to shan you to go ni she work full marks. Okay. So can you come to force a gala balashan agus then force a gala balashan. Okay. So agus reaching the fad between the centers. Now reach to go ni from the center of the masses shan the fad D. So can you come to shan? The other layer na mass. Okay. Now the gravitational constant G is called Newton's universal gravitational constant. I guess tell Lua Ega. Now we can estimate. So estimation is 6.7 by 10 to the power of minus 11. So sin an estimation done Lua at a gravitational constant. Newtons per meter squared, because the kind for meter mass is kilograms. By kilograms, so you to so it is by kilograms to the minus 2. So it is shin unit the kite come no you fair come because the good news is American to the lower table. Stay in the lower table. We hint to Guji Lehana, I think it was half a 49.50 numbers. So American to Lehana Karashin or the lower table. So American to the Karashin to the Tarishan the M Taranche. So gravitational constant. Now, it's the Oshahama in Dutch example. Well, I'm adding Shineka your table. So you to 6.6742 by 10 to the power of minus 11 meters cubed per kilogram per second. So it is just there's a unit different, which is the same as this. Okay. Now, can you come here? It's the exam. Yes, I got a hort value for the G. So kite to the lower table research earlier in the Karashe. So just can you come here, son? Okay. So reached bit agus the lower tabli lena carashe for honey and gravitational constant value. The formula here and shan here to g force, mass agus momentum. So shin lehana mechanics, page 50. All the formulation. Right, so there are boer lena quigashe. So marketer lena quigashe brings Newton's law of gravitational formula. So when I will to add the company an actual definition, go gene formula, scale out the formula. So F is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to the distance between them squared. Okay, what's in solid again, eh? Okay, so reached the gravitational constant, Newton's universal law of gravitation. Now, reached, just run my back to PowerPoint. So reached into mass here against mass da. So F is directly proportional to the product of the mass, inversely proportional distance between the squared against your machine. So to majada shinata gene formula where the F and is the force of attraction. M here and M the mass na D and fad edru agus G and tarisha aliha na M haranche. Okay. Now, then force the M haranche a goni her. So it's always a force of attraction. Okay. So tarnian and force are emihin and mashin a draw emida agus tarnian force are emida and mashin a draw emihin. So reach into goni tarni hogi hill. And made currentness and force at our gap mass deep. So it's the exact same force on both, even though it's in size different, it's the exact same force on both masses. If you want a mass away a widening small than mass ella. So must meet us are a down, I guess a degree a yalla, ten force current target of articulation la hilla. Now ten force the M target at the yeah harp spherule alles goal mass omland and yeah harp a lerga carp deep. So because the mass the lock mass a carp lock with your fod at the yeah mass from the center of both planets. Okay. So then fod the goni will layer a carp. Okay, was in solid again. Now, then look the entire zone tarrant 6.7 by 10 to the power minus 11, but all the lower tablet is correct to 4 to 5 decimal place. So kaitishin usage. If you are to use it for the Kestney maths, because you said 6.7, but it's the exam, monovariant gravitational constant ditch, then you can you to a or the lower tablet or Lihana Karashe. Now, a short day goal G kubagtion, now smeechi kubaglashin 10 to the power minus 11 in tabag. You've been a force to M taranche for an at the yeah harp mon mean mass all water garp away and deep relate. So Kahi can planet away, for example, or mass when we fiant more a gun partner she can live for your effect to be a gravitational constant. So really, really big. Okay. Now, to Jli Alia M Tarn using the sample to Jli and Karen Fod inverti. So the inverse square law. So it is mir durtin if my intune force a Karnu to Fod at the you got to be carried where in you lose such a quarter because of the genu 2 by D squared, so in 4D squared. Okay, my way to turn Fod for 3. If we increase the force by our Fod for 3, then 10 force got to be in where in you slew. Okay, so this in tower. Okay, now making to so in the inverse square law. The question la genu are exercise 10.5. So, Jefferson Universe and Chen, I guess it is the hand the rotated heart. Now, Pluto is declassified as a planet to show us. So, we're going to force the M tarrant and force the lower amshare at the according to the planet face heart to green. So, this gravitational force keeps all the planets that got heart to circle or the universe. So, crania. I guess it is the M tarrant in Yali raw log con atmosphere. So, the force of gravity or the Yala raw. Equal and therefore you shad an atmosphere of honey. So Jalin in molecular gas on a mass as well. So any gas molecules a ton will float out into space. I guess you know the generation ibon lena kates cardiac. Right, so I'm going to stop in chin. Over ball for the wrong and where again? Where is the wrong and where is I guess the hinia. So when you over ball and where a jocklive exercise 10.5 you do. So to just a good such a formula, force equals G more M hina me da is going D squared, and then remember free cholive and chin hit kojal and chin and where live. Okay. Remember free cholive and where. So when you over ball chin exercise, catch the hin G she exercise 10.5. Okay.
Slán.
Okay, fine.
Right, come on.
Like it.
Well.
Fine.